Hi everyone, Steve Crosby here. Welcome to this, our final installment on Monday Morning Muses on this theme of Father-Son ministry. We've been at it 12 weeks. I think that's enough. If you want more, you can get more in the little booklet. But I would just like to wrap it up on a positive note. We spent a lot of time diagnosing serious pitfalls, and I don't apologize for that at all. Love God with all your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself, as Christ has loved us, isn't complicated, doesn't require a lot of mechanics, doesn't require father-son ministry. It requires a lot of death and resurrection. I have relationships with other men and women that you could call a father-son sort of relationship, where I'm the junior partner, to use that improper language. And I have relationships with people who are 10, 15, 20 years younger than myself that might call me functioning like a spiritual father. You know what characterizes all those relationships? And I'm talking 25 years worth. This conversation has never come up. Never had one conversation on this topic. Why? Because when it's a spiritual reality, born of God, cemented together in love and mutual honor and respect, you don't need to talk about it all the time. I often like to think, and might be for some too earthy or crude an analogy, but the reason junior high boys, 10, 11, 8 years old, maybe 10, 11, 12 years old, in their locker room are always making sex jokes and talking about sex is because they're just coming into something, they don't know anything about it, and nobody hopefully is getting any. When talking about something incessantly becomes a necessity, it's normally an indication that the reality of the matter doesn't have enough self-sustenance to sustain itself. I have not had one problem on the whole issue of authority and submission or hierarchy or any of that, because it's a mutually recognized spiritual reality. I'd like to finish with a metaphor. Imagine a parable. So you're in a botany class in a collegiate atmosphere, and if you've been in a bigger colleges, you know they have those gigantic lecture halls with hundreds, if not seats for thousands. And you're studying botany, and the professor, the instructor, he comes in, and he has a rose in his hand, a stemmed rose, thorns and everything. And he says, now I would like each of you to analyze this rose and pass it around, and I'm going to pass it around. And so he passes it around to student after student after student. If there's 500 or 600 people in that room, what do you think is going to be left of that rose by the time it comes back to the instructor? Not much. Here's the lesson of the story. In the much handling of a thing, the beauty and the essence of the thing are lost. And it's the same way on this theme of Father-Son ministries, or frankly, any other sub-theme other than Christ and Him crucified as the centrality. By much handling, the essence and the beauty is lost. We don't need to teach about father-son ministry. We need to teach and preach Christ and Him crucified, and beautiful, mutually submissive, mutually beneficial, mutually honoring relationships will be the logical outcome of the accurate presentation of Christ and Him crucified. I won't have to harp on fatherhood, sonship, honor, authority. I have lived it. I know it's possible. I have entered into the realm of it. I know it's possible. I've experienced the beauty of it and the abuse of it. And my burden for you is that you would experience the beauty of it. And that I hope I've given you in this series a few tools, a few alarm bells on the windows of your soul, that if you hear certain things, you'll know how to protect yourself. And I thank you for being with me on this series, and we'll launch into something new next time we're together. Peace. See you next time.